Hello and happy 2026. I'm Kristen Rosenberg. I'm a holistic health practitioner and intuitive. And this year, I've been called to take a look at the energies that are influencing us for the year. I've called in the angels for a message, an angel message, and an energetic reading using oracle cards for each quarter. And in each quarter, I've done a 4-card spread to look at the different aspects of energetic influences for each 3-month period. And as always, I'm here to support you on your holistic health journey in mind, body, and spirit. So please reach out to me if you'd like to know more about how I can support you. I offer Reiki and distance Reiki, intuitive soul readings, somatic breathwork sessions, and a holistic health program called Cleanse Your Body to Heal, where I work one-on-one with people to help them reclaim their health from chronic illness and symptoms. All of these offerings can be booked on an individual basis or bundled together, kind of a mix and match to help support you. You can also visit my website at inspiredtruewellness.com. And if you have questions or want to learn more, I also offer complimentary calls where we can go over your questions and you can learn more there as well. And I also have a YouTube channel where these videos play as well. And you can check out my monthly angel and oracle readings there if you want more detail about the energies on a monthly basis throughout the year. So I'll put those links in the description box or wherever you are watching this video. So thanks so much again for being here, and I wish you a very happy 2026. So let's jump into the angel message next for this year. So before I get into the message, I'll just say as an overview that 2026 is a really reflective and soul-searching year where we're trying to figure things out internally and collectively and really going within ourselves to understand what's true and what's not true, what feels right and what doesn't for us in many different aspects of our life. It feels like a real period of discernment this year and coming back to ourselves to know what's truly in alignment and to come to a deeper understanding of how we really want to live and show up in our lives for ourselves and for others. So there's a process happening of cultivating a deep understanding within ourselves and even connecting with one another on a deeper level so we can understand each other better and foster a deeper connection that isn't based on shallow labels and categorization of one another. It's about understanding people's experiences and what makes them who they are, including ourselves. So again, it seems like a pretty deep year on an energetic, internal, emotional level, and even collectively. And I'll tell you, I really love the 4th quarter cards that acknowledge a process of change and transformation that's happening. And that if we connect to our inner soul and really do the deep inner work of understanding ourselves and others, we can transform ourselves and one another and come to a place of renewal. We're looking for a more peaceful state that's based on alignment with what's true for ourselves. And it's in that space that we can trust what's true in our hearts as a part of source in the universe and to allow ourselves to be wide open to the limitless potential of manifestation and inspired creative expression in our lives. So again, that seems like a very deep, energetic, inner work, spiritually searching kind of year. So while there may be a lot happening in terms of activity out in the world and what we're looking at, it will be really important to take time to feel into your inner truth and having courage to face any discomfort related to programming or limiting beliefs that you may find within yourself, and allowing yourself to receive as you follow your heart and feet through a time of change and greater expression. So that's the larger overview of the energies this year and how they're supporting us. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I wish you a transformative year of deep listening, learning, and exploration that helps you grow in clarity and connection to yourself, to others, and to your true genius and uniqueness within. So as I sat down for the angel message, Archangel Haniel came through, and she's the joy of God, and Archangel Metatron, he's called One Who Guards. Both of them came through, and really the one with the message was Archangel Haniel, and I love that because she's all about joy. So I'll read her message to you. She steps forward to say, I asked first, what is this year about? What's coming to us energetically? What do we need to know? And she says, yes, this year is all about finding yourselves. And what that means is finding your true purpose and who you really are. In the past, there was an element of discovering and uncovering who you are to some degree, but this comes more strongly to the forefront this year. 2025 was about exploration and releasing to a great degree. 2026 is about looking within and still uncovering those places where there may be accumulation and things that need to be cleaned out in big and small ways. So it's still a time of cleaning, but to an even greater degree, and even more so, it is a time of exploration to come to a greater understanding of who each of us is as an individual and what talents, gifts, and energy we bring to our communities and how we affect the larger collective as well. It is a journey to understand what makes us unique and at the same time also the same as part of an intricate, interwoven collective of consciousness. It is in this uniqueness that your frequency can ring clearly and brightly and resonate throughout this collective consciousness. It is in this way that the ripple effect is most powerful and can transform to a great degree throughout the globe on various levels. That resonance and authenticity of resonance is powerful, and it is a frequency of joy and love. And so it is that this year is an exploration of who you are and finding joy in that exploration and joy in the gratitude of uncovering more of who you are and allowing it to be expressed into the world and into the universe in pure, loving resonance. There will be times of deep inner personal reflection that are needed to gain greater connection to what feels right and true within for the coming year. And there will be times when each person will need to act on that deep reflection, to go deeper and to experience more things in their lives that provide lessons about who they are and how they want to show up in the world to contribute. In the practice of numerology, this year follows as a number 1 year, and the frequency of the number 1 carries the energy of new beginnings, gaining clarity, and letting go of the past. It is that 2026 is in this way a new beginning of energetic expression, and our hope is that you can find clarity in relation to your true authenticity and the ability to express that authenticity so that this new energetic beginning resonates and attracts a higher frequency into your life so that you can attract what is meant for you in a higher form based on your higher resonance and frequency. And so it is a balance of going within to calibrate and understand who you are, sorting through unhelpful emotional patterns that affect how you show up, and consciously integrating what you've learned so that you can step out into the world in new ways and emit a higher frequency. We are here to support you in this journey to deepen and heighten soul vibrations. It is when your vibrations become clearer and filled with more love and joy as time goes on that it can rise and expand, bringing more love and joy into your field and affecting the collective and those who are in contact with you in positive ways. We wish you so much joy and freedom as you make connections this year to understand the depths of who you are as a divine being connected to and also a part of Source Light and Love. We are here for you in this journey and support you in your uniqueness and your connection to this beautiful symphony of love. You need only to look within to find your connection to Source. It is always with you. So much love and joy, Archangel Haniel. So that is the message for 2026. And I also saw that Archangel Metatron is here, and he didn't necessarily have a message, but he is here to guide us on this path as well. He, from what I could hear, he will be working with Archangel Haniel to assist in building our connection between the earthly plane and the spiritual plane. And both archangels work with supporting our spiritual gifts and intuition as well. So that will be extremely helpful as we go through this year and explore our energy more deeply in terms of coming to a greater understanding of who we are on an individual level and also in relation to the collective. So that's a really nice way to start off this reading, with the understanding that there may be a lot of reflection this year, that there's also the need for us to step out and be more of who we are, to create balance between developing who we are within ourselves and then also to express that into the world. It's when we have that equanimity within ourselves between the inner and the outer that we can be more stable and interact with one another in a more stable and loving way. And that seems like it could greatly benefit all of us in a lot of ways on many different levels at this point in time. So thank you, Archangel Haniel, for that message, and for Archangel Metatron for supporting us this year as we move forward. So before I jump into the card readings for the year, I just wanted to go over a little bit about how they're structured so you understand what's going on when I show you the slides of each card reading. I used 4 different oracle card decks to answer 4 different questions or areas for each card reading spread. That's what I just felt led to do. I don't always use sometimes I do use different decks. I use them a lot, actually, where I feel like maybe a lot of people use the same deck for some readings, but I like to mix and match my decks for sure. So for the top card, I used Oracle of the Seven Energies. The bottom row left, I used the Dreamweaver's Oracle deck. The bottom row middle, Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And the bottom row right, I used the Enchanted Map deck. All these decks are made by Colette Baron Reed. I really love her decks. And then in terms of the layout and what we're looking at, what topics we're looking at, the top card in the layout is looking at the supportive and overarching energies for that time period. Bottom row left is looking at the influential energy at the collective level. The bottom row middle card is looking at the influential energy at the individual level. And then the bottom row right card looking at the energy that's influencing our actions and decisions for that quarter, for that 3-month period. So I just wanted you to be aware of what I'm talking about as I'm going through each spread for each quarter. So let's get started. Okay, so for the first quarter, January, February, and March of 2026, the top card is Ears Wide Open. And that refers to the supportive and overarching energies that are running for the quarter. And this card relates to all the other cards below it. It's kind of informing and supporting all those other energies as well. So they're interwoven. And this one's really interesting because Ears Wide Open came up in December 2025 for the Angel and Oracle reading. And this one's going to come up again later in the year in 2026 also. So it's a really important card to watch when we see this coming up over and over again. It's really trying to communicate a message to us. So definitely want to tune into that one. So I'll explain a little bit more about that. So this Ears Wide Open card, it's about deep listening, and deep listening as a gift to yourself to listen to what's true for you and what's right for you, and also deep listening as a gift to others and to tune in to what's being said in exchanges with people and also what's not being said. So it's about becoming very focused and receptive to listening to others and to pick up on what's really going on, to really try and tune into the energy of the exchange. When we tune into what's being said and not said, and we let go of the need to be right, to judge what's going on, we become more expansive and our hearts are more open to potential instead of being reactive. So that allows us to stand in the midst of chaos and disagreement, and to have more clarity and to be grounded while feelings and messages may spin around us. So deep listening is a way to experience and discern truth in our world. And that feels really important, I think, on many levels right now. And yes, truth can be subjective, but it's what we need to go within to understand what that true, genuine truth is, authentic truth. And in order to practice deep listening, we need to check our egos when we feel triggered by feeling misunderstood or unheard. So it's not a time to dig your heels in to make your message clear, but it's a time to be present and take in what's being said, to process it on a deeper level and to discern what's true. And that means for yourself too. It's not to push things aside anymore that you don't feel like thinking about, or maybe you're not listening to yourself. Maybe a truth is being pushed down or pushed away, and it's time for that to come up and really listen to yourself. So that's a very interesting card that's running in the background. So now the next card on the bottom left, it's about the energies influencing us on a collective level. And the card is called Only Weavers Know the Time. And this is from the Dream Weavers deck. So this card is related to themes that, again, at work on the collective level. And it's about divine timing and releasing our expectations about what's going to happen, when it may happen, and how it may happen. It's telling us that time isn't linear and that in the spiritual realm, things are being moved around in the invisible, and we can't know when things are going to happen or how they're going to happen. So we have to trust that. It will be important for us to trust in divine timing. So in that context, just know that you're not behind and you haven't missed your opportunity for things to turn around. It's just that we need to stay curious and open about what's happening, because the universe and source may have a better sense of how things need to unfold more than we do. So just trust in divine timing and things will fall into place. So that's the collective level. Now, on the individual level for this quarter, two cards fell out of the deck while I was shuffling. And the first one is the tribe, and the second one is the leg up, and that's in a protection position. So the first one, the tribe, this is about the idea of community and being seen and understood in the context of families and friendship, and understanding our place in our individual worlds. We're wanting to have a sense of purpose and belonging, and this could mean it could be about evaluating friendships and community at this point and discerning whether it's time to move on from a group or from some individuals and find something new. Or it could be about zeroing in on your purpose within that group and getting a greater feel for what you can contribute or what you want to contribute to a group. And with the second card, the a leg up card in the upside down position, it's a protection message. And this is telling us that as much as we want to contribute to a group and we're deciding how we can help our communities, it's also important for us to allow others to help us as well. So it's a feeling of reciprocation that's going on for these few months on an individual level. We can't be like an island. We need to open up to others to help them and also allow them to contribute to our lives as well. And I love that in connection with the Ears Wide Open card, because there is a sense of deep listening, contribution, and reciprocity. So it's through deep listening that we will actually hear in our hearts what we want to contribute and to know what people need as well to communicate what it is that we actually need help with so we can be supported by others. And then the last card, this is the energy influencing decisions and our actions this month. It's called Coming Apart. The Coming Apart card is a signal to us that you may be realizing that you're not in the right place anymore in terms of what you're contributing, or in terms of your purpose or your sense of belonging. And that can be connected to the tribe card that's related to the individual energy as well. So maybe the coming apart card is also related to a way of thinking or a pattern that maybe you've held emotionally, that you're questioning it or maybe allowing it to fall away at this time. Another possibility is that you've just worn out your welcome in a certain situation. So, whatever it may be, try to take a step back to gain some perspective on what's happening, to sort out the pieces of the puzzle and untangle yourself. It's important at this time, too, to keep a good sense of humor about this process because it's a learning opportunity as well. So, breathe and use that deep listening energy that's encouraged and supported during this time to understand the bigger picture and how Source is supporting you and guiding you and teaching you as things are getting reorganized, maybe falling apart a little bit or changing and shifting, that it's reorganizing for the greater good. So, in the second quarter, April, May, and June of 2026, the overarching energy at work is waking the lion. So, this card is calling us to have courage, to be brave, and to trust in spirit. It's about having strength to take bold action, and at the same time, it's about being brave in the face of fear and being vulnerable. So, it's about having all different types of strength and bravery and courage to step out and be our true, authentic selves, and to step up and stand for what we believe in. This is definitely not wishy-washy energy, but it's about being bold and trusting that the divine is with us and supporting us no matter what happens. So we don't need to know exactly where we're going, and we may not at times, and that's totally okay. It's about stepping out and stepping up to express yourself and fully embody who you are and what you want to accomplish here. So we're being called to be brave even in the face of uncertainty, in the face of failure, and in the face of success too, which can also be scary in a different way. These risks make us venture out of our comfort zone to help us grow, and that can create change, which can be scary. But this card is also here to tell us that Source is with us, it's at our back. So if we trust in our relationship with the divine, you can't fail as long as you're acting with courage and integrity. So, this is the energy that will be interwoven into all the cards in the background and influencing what's happening during these 3 months. And I'll move on to the next card on the bottom left that talks about the collective level energy. And that card is called When the Birds Sing Gratitude. And this card is an interesting one in terms of it being for the collective. It's about gratitude as the essential power of manifestation and also about the law of praise. And I'll just read an excerpt from the guidebook for this one. It says, saying thank you before actually receiving those good things you desire in life is a magical, sacred act. The true manifesting power of gratitude is the declaration in advance of your needs being met. Saying thank you is the abracadabra of life. It calls beauty and grace to you, reminding you of your humility. And it goes on to ask us some questions in the guidebook. Can you be thankful for whatever happens? Can you show appreciation for the highest good of all and not just yourself? Can you see this adventure called life through the eyes of gratitude, humility, and kindness? So, these are all questions to consider in the context of giving praise and thanks for all things seen and unseen. That's where the miracles lie, and that's how they're going to show up in the gratitude and being thankful before things happen. My understanding of this card appearing in this position especially in the context of the Waking the Lion card and having courage, is that we need to view events and situations in our world with gratitude for what they're showing us, even if it may be painful at times. What we're being shown sometimes are the shadows and the lessons that need to be learned for all of us to heal and move forward as a unified community and in a unified way. So it's up to us to start giving thanks and gratitude for the things we want to see, but even the things that we don't yet see in the world. And if we make those things that we don't yet see our focus, it will enable miracles to be created. It will enable what we want to see to be created. And that's the power of our energetic abilities. So it's calling us to gratitude in this time in April, May, and June. So if you have a meditation practice or a prayer practice, I highly encourage you to add some words of thanks, praise, or gratitude for that which you want to see in the world, and talking about it and giving thanks for it in a way that we're thankful that that thing has already happened. So you're saying thanks that this has happened, and that way it can call it into being. So visualize, imagine, and speak it into reality. If we all start doing that, it's a powerful energetic frequency to put out into the universe, and it can carry an even greater strength with the power of that awakening courage that's at our backs for these few months. So anchor yourself into gratitude during these months and give thanks and praise for things that are happening and for that which you want to call in. So on the individual level, we have the soulmates card in protection. That's an upside down card. So with this card, it's about looking at personal relationships that are challenging and looking at those relationships that may not look like they're serving us, or they may not feel enjoyable, at least right now. But when we're looking at those relationships, we need to be aware that these kinds of challenging and difficult relationships can be a gift in terms of what they're showing us or what they're exposing to us in relation to our own behavioral patterns and stories and programmings that we have about ourselves that we might attach to and identify with that don't really serve us. So they can show us kind of be a mirror to ourselves of what's going on within us as well. These more difficult relationships are helping us learn about ourselves and to grow. So if you're dealing with an individual or individuals that are making you question yourselves, like saying things like, why is this happening to me? Or why is this person treating me this way? Or why did they do this to me? It can be really beneficial to reframe that and replace those questions with questions like, where is the gift in this? What are these difficulties showing me about myself in terms of how I relate to other people and the part that I'm playing in this relationship? So let that be a mirror to go deeper within yourself, to learn more about yourself. Again, it's the self-exploration that we're working on this year. So these can be difficult questions for us to confront and look at, but again, we're drawing on our courage to go within and be vulnerable with ourselves as well, to look at the truth of what's happening and discern where we may need to make some adjustments and modifications to stop getting stuck in unhealthy behaviors or unhealthy thinking or toxic patterns. So look within yourself, be brave, and allow the recognition of these things that we may not want to admit to ourselves, allow that to be exposed. Because it's in that recognition and acknowledgement that those more shadowy aspects of ourselves can shift and change and heal and become more integrated. And then the last card about how we're making decisions and what energies are influencing our decisions and actions this quarter. It's called One Ring Circus, and it is upside down. The One Ring Circus card in the reverse position brings us a message about needing to control things in our lives and thinking that we need to take care of everything ourselves in order for everything to work out okay or to keep ourselves safe. So this need for control that we have is fear-based. And we already know for April, May, and June, the background energy at work is about having courage and being brave. It's not about trying to control everything so that things work out the way we think it should. It's about trusting that spirit is in the mix and has its hand in things, and how things are working out for the greatest and highest good. So this One Ring Circus card is about us letting go of being a one-man show and letting spirit play its part in the orchestration of our lives, and allowing other people to have sovereignty in their lives and to play their own part in the unfolding of life in general. So we need to get out of the way of others and to also get out of our own way. Things will still get done if you take a back seat. And if you are a control freak, that can feel scary. I'm very much wired that way myself. And I've been continuing to learn this lesson about control in new levels and different variations of this theme for some time now. So there's no need for anyone to feel like they have to be the savior or feel like they have to have all the answers for other people. Again, it's not about controlling. Another aspect of this card can be about other people controlling you also. So if that's happening, this card is a sign that that needs to be addressed. Setting boundaries for yourself is not a negative action. It's really the healthiest choice we can make for ourselves and for other people, because when we set boundaries, we say yes to ourselves and we feel presence and peace within ourselves when we do that. We feel safe within ourselves and we are connected to what we truly want for ourselves. It's that authenticity again. So when we feel that peace and presence within ourselves, it sends out an aligned frequency that allows other people who resonate similarly to come into your life as well. It's the trueness of you being emanated and emitted into the world. Essentially, what's important is that it's a more genuine, authentic frequency and an authentic reflection of who you are. So set those boundaries. They are healthy for yourself. So this is an interesting quarter of being brave and courageous, but a lot of it feels like looking at how we take action, how we're interacting with other people, and then also being very aware and being brave to give thanks and praise for what's being shown to us in the collective, even if it may be a little chaotic and scary. So very interesting spread for the second quarter. Okay, the third quarter, July, August, and September. Again, the overarching energy at work is the ears wide open card. It came up again. Again, it's very significant to me that this card is showing up a few times now. It's a flag for us to pay attention and really focus on this. So I went over the ears wide open card in the first quarter spread. So again, it's about a supportive background energy that's running over these few months, that's encouraging us to tune into ourselves on and others on a deeper level, to listen deeply with our hearts to hear the truth in what's being said, and to potentially intuit deeper meaning behind what's being said and that which is not being said for ourselves and for others. Then the first card on the bottom on the left, the collective energy that's influencing us, or the energy influencing all of us on a collective level, is called What the Winter Spirits Know. And this card is letting us know that there may be obstacles in July, August, and September, and that they're there for a purpose. If you do encounter obstacles, it can be best just to leave things for a bit and to take a rest and allow things to be reorganized and trust that things will work out as they're meant to. And that can mean that whatever you're hoping for may happen at a future time, and it's just not in the greatest and highest good for right now. It's also a time to slow down and process, to contemplate options and go within to process. So think about your choices and make a plan. With rest and surrender comes deeper wisdom that can bring regeneration and rebirth. So it's in this time of rest and surrender that the obstacles in our lives can be removed and life can move forward again with greater ease. So it's a time of pausing, reflecting, planning, and waiting. It's not a time of action. It's just that the universe is in the background working things out for our greatest and highest good, and we need to trust in that. And then the next card in the middle is the energy influencing us on an individual level, and that's new life, and that's upside down in the protection position. So on a personal level, we may be wanting to start something new or hoping that things will move along more smoothly and quickly, but we may have to acknowledge that there are some shortcomings or maybe inexperience or a lack of knowledge, something that we may not know in its entirety that's keeping things from moving quickly or as smoothly as we would like. And that's okay. It's okay for us not to know exactly how things are going to unfold, or if we're feeling like things aren't moving as quickly as we would like. It's okay to be at the beginning of something and be learning. We're being asked to be open to learning of all kinds, including learning about your own beliefs or more about your own beliefs and values, and learning about other people's perspectives as well. So allow yourself to be okay with the unknown at this time, and to be okay with learning something new, and to be comfortable with that learning process as much as possible, to just go with the flow of what is happening and how things are unfolding, and just being comfortable being at where you are and the learning that's taking place. This card makes a lot of sense as an individual experience paired with the collective energy as well, because collectively we're slowing down and needing to assess where we are and how we're moving forward. So it sounds like a lot of reflection will be needed too on an individual level as well, to be open to taking in new information and learning new things as a part of assessing how you want to move forward. And while you're in the middle of that process, again, it's okay to be unsure and not know exactly what you're doing, but being able to surrender and accept the truth of your situation, to sit with it and be present with that for now, to be aware of all of that. So then we have the next card on the right, the energy influencing our decisions and taking action for this quarter. And this is the Goblins card, and it's in a protection position or upside down position. So for this quarter, in terms of our actions, we need to be fully aware of how we're making decisions, that we're making those decisions from a place of love and joy, not out of fear or old patterns or wounding. So pay attention to whether or not other people's opinions, emotional wounding, or baggage are playing into any decisions or actions that you may be taking, or whether it's your own opinions, wounding, or baggage are playing into your own decision making. It's important to tune into your own heart and make decisions from a place of love and authenticity and alignment with yourself. So be sure to set boundaries and be aware of any manipulation that may be happening around you. Let love guide you in these 3 months. So again, overall, this is a reflective quarter. Our souls are being asked to be in this deep listening again and present to ourselves, and to understand underlying truths that are happening within ourselves, within others, and the collective. So we're paying attention again to what's being said, but also to what's not being said, and processing it all to discern what's in alignment for us, what's true for us. This is all part of us becoming energy masters. We have to be able to sort out the negative from the positive, the true from the untrue. So that's kind of what this is about again. So it's a time of rest, contemplation, and reflection in the face of obstacles that may be being presented in society on the greater level, in the collective. And in this time of pausing, we're using that deep listening to consider where we are on our path. Are we beginning something new? Is it time to begin something new? Are we learning something new? If this is the case, it's important for us to understand to just be where we are on the path and to surrender to it and to learn from it. So that's an interesting third quarter. Again, feels very reflective on a soul level individually and collectively. Okay, so now we've got the fourth quarter, October, November, December 2026. So two cards jumped out of the deck for this quarter in terms of the overarching and supportive energies. Um, and the first card is called the Land Between. And this card tells us that there's an energy of change at work. We're in a period of transformation where we're moving from what was into what is to be, just like a butterfly would be in a chrysalis. And when you're going through a process of change, of course, be aware that sometimes it can be messy and uncertain and uncomfortable as we're stepping into the unknown. But the energy here is indicating that we're in a transformational process during this time, whether we like it or not. It's just happening. But it is an opportunity for us to sit with the discomfort and to lean into it and to learn how to be present with ourselves again, even in the midst of fear and change, to cultivate an inner strength. So it's a time to learn to be gentle with ourselves again and not to push ourselves too hard as we move through the unknown and uncertainty that kind of lies ahead and what's associated with change. And we may be tested at this time, our strength in terms emotionally, mentally, and physically and spiritually. We may be tested in that way, and it may test our faith as well. But it's a time of change that we have to walk through to get to a place of growth and rebirth, to get to where we want to go. So use this time in this quarter to tune into what you believe is possible for your next steps and transformation. And also use the time to explore this process of change on an inner level to get to know yourself better. Where are you being challenged? What kind of emotions is change bringing up for you? Again, it's all about self-discovery and self-knowledge and understanding more about who you are. And then the second card that's at work in terms of overarching and supportive energies is called Awakening Genius. And these two cards are so great together. The Land Between card talks about regeneration and rebirth. So that's where we're moving to. And that's exactly where the Awakening Genius card starts out. So Land Between ends with rebirth and regeneration. Awakening Genius starts with rebirth and regeneration. And it's all about bringing new things to life and creative expression. So as we move through that in-between area of change, what we will reach on the other side of that change and transformation is the opportunity to create something new, to bring forth new ideas and circumstances, and to live in a new way if that's what's called for. So just like the Land in Between, the Awakening Genius card is also about getting to know ourselves and being in alignment with that truth, so that when this creative genius within each of us comes alive, it's a true expression of who we are and the gifts and the love that we can bring to the world. So that authenticity is so important because it brings out the true expression of who we are and what we want to create going forward. So I love these two cards together. When we awaken in that way, it's inspired and it uplifts everyone around you. And that can be in terms of your work, being a parent, being a friend, a spouse, however you show up in the world is about awakening genius, being who you are and showing up as who you are. It's about striking a balance between trusting in spirit to guide the flow of our lives and using our intellect as a channel for our own personal genius to come through and express new ideas and information. So we need to get out of our own way to allow that inspired information to come through us from within us because it's there. So that's very exciting as we're changing. Look out for inspired ideas to come through based on the changes that are taking place, and notice any discomfort as a sign of transformation that's moving through you, and moving through us from who we were into what we want to become and create in our lives. So that's amazing. And on the bottom left, the energy influencing us on a collective level, the card's called All is Calm Upon the Shores. While all this change and metamorphosis energy is in the background happening, the energies supported in the collective are related to radical acceptance and peaceful interactions with others. That's a nice thing to hear. The energy of this quarter follows the serenity prayer, and I'll read that to you. The serenity prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So it's an energy of surrendering our attachment to outcomes, trusting that things are going to turn out the way that they should. And there seems to be a sense of peace with things, even if it's just momentarily, and trusting that all will be well despite shifts and changes that we may see occurring. So it's about surrendering with acceptance, courage, love, and wisdom, and trust in spirit for what's happening. Then the individual card for the month in the middle, the energy influencing us on an individual level is the Yin card. And this card says that the energies are more open and receptive. This energy, it's about allowing, conscious allowing, and being receptive. And when I say being receptive, I don't mean that you sit back and allow everything that happens or comes to you to be accepted, especially if it's not in alignment for you. It's more about having a calculated receptivity where you're studying the actions of others and really thinking about how their actions affect you and the people you love. When that discernment takes place, you can be in alignment, and that allows a more conscious way of things to flow to you. So that's the kind of receptive state that we're talking about for these months. When we can be in that kind of state of alignment, trust, and conscious receptivity, then the things we wish to manifest can come to us. And before I get to the last card, I just want to make a little comment here. I love the cards for this quarter. They're all very reflective and based in patience, and they're about waiting, surrender, and alignment to fulfill this process of change and evolution within ourselves, and hopefully for greater society on the planet. And when I was putting this reading together for the year, I wasn't sure whether to even include a card for the collective because things just seem so crazy and messy. I didn't know if any of that was going to make sense. And when you look around at what's happening, all of the different opinions, the division, the anger, and the unrest that's going on, you really wonder if there's a way to move through all of this and come to some sort of peaceful connection with one another globally and even locally sometimes. So my hope is that the cards in this reading for this year on the collective level are truly a sign of hope for us, that things may start reorganizing across the globe, and that we all may wake up and start to understand that all the labeling and division between us isn't serving us, and that we need to show up on an individual basis. All of us, it's our responsibility to show up on an individual basis in alignment with ourselves so we can be present to one another as whole beings that have capacity to listen and understand one another in order to find common ground and to create a higher quality existence together. So it was just very interesting in doing that. So I just wanted to mention that while, before I finish out this reading, but really great cards and interesting collective cards for us to consider. So, okay, back to the third card, the energy informing our actions and decisions for the fourth quarter. This card is called Wide Open. And this card is such a great card in relation to the background energies for the month, especially the Awakening Genius card. And I'll just read a quote from the guidebook about Wide Open. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world and share in all the bounty of life and its possibilities. I love this message. It's a signal we're stepping into a time where you can truly manifest your dreams and goals. So during these months, it's really a time to step into that energy, that creative genius that is yours and yours alone. It's about following your unique voice and not comparing yourself to others. And it's knowing that you have your own talents and gifts to bring to the world and to follow that, because they need to be expressed to lift others up as well as yourself. Um, this card is also a sign that opportunities may be available to you. So this is the perfect time to bloom and grow. Whatever adventures and projects that you want to pursue or wanting to undertake at this time, the energy is encouraging that. And if you've been playing small, it's time to face your fears and start dreaming bigger, because the transformational energy at work here behind the scenes is supporting all of the beautiful and inspirational experience, gifts, talents, and knowledge that are within you that you may be wanting to share with the world. So the energy of this card tells us that inspired actions and aligned decisions will be met by Source, supported and lifted up at this time. So bring all of that wisdom, creativity, and genius that you've cultivated throughout this year, while you're doing all that inner contemplation and reflection. Bring all of that goodness, that wisdom, creativity, and genius, bring it all to the forefront in the last few months of this year to allow it to bloom, grow, and thrive. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope that it serves you as the year moves forward. It will be interesting to see how 2026 unfolds. So feel free to come back to this reading for guidance and support as time goes on during the year. And with that, I wish you a wonderful new year and so much love, peace, and presence and abundance in 2026. Have a beautiful year. And if you'd like more divine information and guidance for each month, you can also tune into my angel and oracle readings that are available on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook page at the handle at Inspire True Wellness. So thanks so much again for being here, and have a very happy and healthy 2026.